Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. May Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai's peace be bestowed unto your hopefully elect. I'm your brother Yahweh Call from Great Millstone, Orlando, and this is just another edition of a chat with the church, a spiritual rant. And basically what was on my spirit when it comes to thinking bigger picture, because one thing that I do, I get in the spirit of, I have the habit of, because not only do we pray just for ourselves, we pray for the brotherhoods, the brothers, the brotherhood, our family, loved ones. But on that same note, like I said, I get in the habit of, if I be one of the men of the Lord, whoever the Lord is going to direct my way as far as the spirits that Yahweh Bashim Shah is going to bring to me. Because, this is what Yahweh Bashim Shah, he's raising us up to be leaders. So we know at some point, the innumerable multitude, they're going to come in. So like I said, not only do I pray for, myself, brothers, the brotherhood, and immediate family and things of that nature, but likewise the innumerable multitude. All right, again, if I be a man of Yahweh by Shema Shai, and if that's the case, then those spirits that the Lord is going to lead to me, I pray for them as well. Because again, when thinking bigger picture, all right, it's bigger than us. It's bigger than how we feel. All right. I'm gonna start off with this precept here in 1 Timothy 4, because when catching hell, when that thought of giving up, and all these things, because it's a real selfish act. It's a real selfish act. Certain times, people, they pretty much delete themselves, right? They leave behind people that depend on them, leave them in that mournful state, because it's easy to go home. Hell, we all want to go home. Like the Apostle Paul said, and not so many words, as much as I'd rather be in the spiritual realm, nevertheless, it's more needful for the body. So, again, man, you talk about bigger picture, man. It's bigger than us. It's bigger than us. Hell, Yahweh Shai. I always use the example of Yahweh Shai. Imagine how he felt. That's why he said, the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Because Yahweh Shai knew what he had to go through. But even when it came down to it, when he actually had to go through it, you best believe he didn't want to go through that pain. Hell, that's why he asked the Father if there be any other way. But just imagine if Yahweh Shah said, fuck it. So us being lords in our own realm, all right, because every brother is not going to be on the level of certain apostles and elders, certain men that, have status, whatnot, whatever the case may be. But nevertheless, again, the Lord's in our own realm. Hey, people are depending on us, whether we know it or not. Now, just keep that in mind all the time. You wonder why people always want to just come up to you, right? They want to spark a conversation. As much as you don't want to be bothered, there's people, man, they just want to come up to you, spark a conversation. They just want to get close to you. They're just drawn to your energy, whatever the case may be. Because essentially, the elect are the Father. So naturally, you want to cleave to the energy of the Father, man. I know to those of us growing up, you might be chilling in the crib, jumping on the couch, or whatever the case may be. But as soon as you see Pops come home, and as soon as you see Pops pull up in the driveway, it's a different energy. It's a different vibration. You know, and hey, the whole mood of the house changes when Pops comes through that door. When Pops is around, the whole energy changes. Yeah, and depending on his mood, hey, you know, that's just what it's gonna be. Depending on whatever his spirit is, you know. So again, man, being that we live in a world of chaos, confusion, brothers have a real stoicism about themselves, about ourselves, right? Just moving in a cool, calm, and collected spirit. People see that, all right? People see that, they're drawn to it, right? And as I always say, because you know Jake loves pretty shit. Jake loves shiny shit, right? Well, hey, brothers are shining, right? Brothers are glowing, and again, you may not see it, you know, but hey, these people, they see it, all right? They recognize it. That's why when you come into an establishment, again, you know, hey, the energy is just different. When brothers step into an establishment, we went to, there's this Rico spot that we go to, a food spot that we go to after camp. You know, and being that Orlando is growing, brothers just came in, you know, Orlando is growing, so it's a lot of brothers. And typically, you know, when a bunch of so-called niggas come into an establishment, you think worst case scenario, right? And I'm talking about brothers, right? But again, it's something different about brothers, you know, because we went to the food spot on Saturday. You know, some of the other brothers, they went elsewhere, so they were going to meet us at the food spot. So, and we tried to get there early to get a table, because again, it's a lot of brothers, it's a lot of us. So we tried to get a table. So as the majority of us went to the food spot, you know, a little Northern Kingdom spot, man. And then, you know, there's some cuties in there and whatnot, you know, as far as the workers and whatnot, they see us all the time. So it's just like when they see us, their countenance changes, you know. Their spirit kind of lights up, because I went inside, we sat outside, I just went inside just so, you know, let the shorty know that, hey, you know, just to be respectful, you know, you mind if we, you know, get some cups? Hey, we're not going to order right now. I'm waiting on a few other, you know, rock guys and whatnot. Just, you know, just want to let you know, you know, because, again, we like to sit on the patio, the outside. So we didn't go through the inside, you know. So I just wanted to make a point that, hey, we're not here just, you know, fucking around and whatnot. I just wanted to let shorty know that, hey, you know, we're going to order, you know, but we're not going to order right now. You know, just communicate, you know. Like I said, you see a large group of so-called niggas, especially in a downtown setting, typically up to no good. But just making the point, because, like I said, we've been coming in for a while. They know us, you know. They know we're not on no nigga shit. But just making that point, man, because that light, man, or excuse me, the countenance, right? Because like I said, they know us. So when they see us, they know we ain't gonna be no nigga shit. We clean up after ourselves, right? And everything else, right? We put the tables back, right? You know, we try to leave it to how we found it, to the best of our ability and whatnot. But they see that. That's not just making on that point, that rambling. Just make that point, you know. So it's things like that, man. You know, it's things like that. You know, like I said, we don't be no nigga shit, right? We're actually tip, you know, leave a good tip and whatnot, things of that nature. So we leave a good impressions. I often talk about planting seeds. You know, you got to plant those seeds, and from there, hey, you know, watch the magic work. You know, plant those seeds, right? So it's just one of those things, you know. Hell, when we went to Tampa as a camp some months back, earlier this year, went to a restaurant. And I didn't notice it because, I just be, hey, when I'm around, for the most part, when I'm around brothers, hey, I'm in heaven. So, but brothers pointed it out because we went to a restaurant. We went to Tampa as we were leaving, went to get some breakfast. And like I said, brothers pointed it out as we were leaving. Eve was just eyeballing brothers. There's a bunch of N-dubs. They were just eyeballing brothers. Like I said, I didn't recognize it. I didn't notice it because, it was the day that we were leaving. So we caught the breakfast, and from there, hey, brothers parted ways. So, brothers, man, when it's time to depart, brothers be like, hey, man, back to that bullshit, man. So my mind was elsewhere, but just making that point with all the rambling. Again, it's a spiritual rant, but hey, people see that light, man. That's just the overall point, man. People see that light. They recognize. They recognize. So with all that being said, man, like I said, hey, as I always say, Jake loves pretty shit. Jake loves shiny shit. So your brothers are glowing. All right. These people, they see it. They recognize it. All right. So with all that being said, again, man, to segue into this, because again, a part of what I was meditating on, brothers been getting into their health, right, and things of that nature. I myself, I've been because I'm a gym head, that's my thing. But even with that, I've been taking a break from the gym, just get more out into the sun, because that gym, man. I mean, of course, take care of your body, go to the gym or whatnot if you need to. But it's better to be outdoors in the nature, right, in the sun. If you're going to do a workout, it's better that way, versus being in a confined space, AC. It's better to be in nature, So I've just been doing more so workouts outside, body weight exercises, push-ups, jogging, and things of that nature. And I'm definitely feeling the effects. It's crazy. As long as I've been to the gym, and of course, for those that don't know, I deal with particular health issues, bodily ailments, right? But as long as I've been doing, keep it up with myself, gym and this and that, it's crazy because, like I said, man, I've been on this program for a few weeks, just as far as, like I just said, outside, jogging, push-ups, things like that, calisthenics, things of that nature. And it's crazy how much of a difference that I feel. There's a big difference. So it's like, damn, That's why I always talk about, man, this outside of the truth, man. Health is one of my favorite topics to get into, because like the truth is this rabbit hole gets deep. So when it comes to health, hey, this rabbit hole gets deep. So one thing I tell people all the time, you got to be your own guinea pig. You got to find out what works for you, But with all that being said, again, it's a spiritual rant, so forgive me of the rant. It is a spiritual rant, just a chat with the church, but making my points, because I get a little long-winded to expound my points. So, Lord willing, it comes together and it makes sense. Because with all that being said, dealing with health issues, right? Trying to keep up with my body. With all that being said, man, is to tie it into this video, man. Again, bigger picture. Bigger picture, right? Because again, it's not just about me. Believe you and me. As much as I'd rather just want to sit my ass at the crib, just be lazy. But hey, one thing that keeps me in check is who's going to do the shit? My demon? My children? Who's going to do the shit? Someone's trying to break into the house. Who's going to do the shit, man? Right? So like I said earlier, hey, when it comes to emotions and how you feel, fuck that. All right? Because this shit has to get done one way or the other. Someone's got to do it. All right? Someone's got to do it. So having that bigger picture in mind. All right, we're not just doing this just for ourselves. So like I was saying in the beginning, and this applies to brothers, other brothers, right? Your family, but even the innumerable multitude, because we don't know who's truly watching our videos, and we don't know. We don't know for sure. But that's why, hey, just through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, we got to keep going, because they're out there nevertheless. They're out there, whether we know it or not. All right, people are watching us. They're depending on us. All right, it'll soon get physical. It'll soon get physical. Because I was also meditating, man. Hey, there's some brothers that have never been in a physical fight in their life. But the time's going to come where you're going to have to defend yours, you and yours, right? Your family, right? Like I said, I've never had my house broken into, but just having the back of my mind, hey, hey, don't look past that, because that's the thing, man. When it comes to the will of Yahweh Shema Shai, everything that's playing out, and these people, for the most part, man, they're in that spirit of way, because it's not affected them yet. They have that normalcy by spirit. They have this. They walk around like they can't be touched, right? Because it's not affecting them yet. Calamity is not on their doorstep yet. But hey, me, I keep in mind, man, and that's why when being out and about, man, hey, it's just keeping your head on the swivel, right? You never know, because the same way we recognize the same way we can recognize, hey, man, this nigga's up to no good, hey, it's vice versa, all right? These spirits out here, they can recognize, hey, they see that light, they can recognize, hey, man, that's that's one of them, that's one of them, So, hey, I mean, we know in any moment, man, any day, shit could pop off, all right, shit could pop off, and that's why it's just the thing of staying ready, right? Staying ready, man. Staying on point, being circumspect. All right. One thing, another thing, just, it keeps me on point, because like I said, doing these little workouts that I just started doing, man, outside, man, this shit, it's definitely harder. It's more difficult, and it's like, damn. Like I said, I do the push-ups, man. I try to knock out at least 100 push-ups a day. But that shit gets tiring. that shit gets tiring. But hey, that ability to push through, that endurance, that because and actually me and some of the brothers talked about this on Saturday, because watching these guys, Diamond Jim, the spirit had it to where I started watching a lot of their clips, because initially I seen these guys, I'm like, man, these guys are tripping. But a lot of what these guys do, if you watch those clips, man, these guys with the Diamond Jim, if you watch these jakes, man, just over time, I'm just starting to see, okay, yeah, it's some real shit, it's some real shit, and hey, those reps, man, I saw one of those clips with these jakes, man, and hey, because as you're pushing through those reps, man, it's just like, hey, your family, man, your life is on the line, you got to get through those reps, so as you're doing those reps, or as I'm doing my reps, because like I said, the shit gets tiring, man. It gets heavy on you, man. The shit gets hard, but it's just like, man, that's what's something that keeps, it keeps what's on my mind as I'm getting through those hard reps, man. Those hard reps, it's like, hey, what if this was a situation to where, hey, my family's on the line, my life is on the line, someone that I love is on the line, hey, you gotta push through the shit. All right. But like I said, who's gonna do the shit? My woman? My children? It's on me. So it's just one of those things. That's why I talk about, you gotta psych yourself up. You gotta psych yourself up, man. You gotta talk crazy, man. You gotta get in that bag, man. You gotta get there. You gotta go to that zone, man. You gotta get there, right? You gotta get there. This is why, on another note, and I tell people all the time, man. I've told brothers this. All right, and, the young brother Ariel, I worked with him for just a little minute. He see what I was talking about. He got a small taste of what I was talking about. But this applies to brothers, You know, just people in general, everyone, because if you know my weight journey, man, if you know, you know. You know, like I said, I started this weight journey, getting into fitness, back in 2018, 2019, and ever since then, hey, Lord willing, I ain't going back, all right? I ain't going back. But with all that being said, you know, everyone always asks me to, hey, you know, train him and this and that. I always put it to him like this, hey, like Yahushua told the mother with the 2 sons, you don't know what you're asking for. You don't know what you're asking for, because you got to go there. You got to go there, man. You know, I forget, and that's something I got to work on. I got to remember, you know, hey, people are not on my level. You know, I got to remind myself, hey, people are not on my level. You know, because, hey, I push myself, man. I push myself, so, you know, to the best of my ability. Like I said, I got too much to lose. I've got too much to lose. What good am I if, you know, like I said, as much as I want to be comfortable, as much as I don't want to do this shit, right? You know, tearing up my hands, you know, skin falling off my hands and shit, doing all the push-ups and shit on the concrete and shit. As much as I want to do this shit, man. But what good am I if, hey, brother, you know, my health is declining. Brother, you know, I got to depend on brothers. I'm weighing down on the brothers, the body, and things of that nature. What good am I? You know, what good am I? You know, what good am I, man? If I'm no good, what good am I if I'm no good? So I got to get this shit done. I got to get this shit done. Regardless, I got to get this shit done, man. I got to get this shit done. Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to do it. You know, someone's got to do it, man. You know, so again, just all a part of bigger picture, right? Because it ain't just about us. You know, I don't just go to the gym, work out, take care of myself, just for myself. You know, yes, it's for me, ultimately. But I don't do it just for myself. Because again, and I know the day's going to come. I know the day's coming. Hey, I'm going to be put in a position to where I'm going to have to defend mine. Like I said, some brothers have never been in a physical fight. Well, hey, the day's going to come, you're going to have to get in the fight. Some brothers, such as myself, have never taken a life. But I just keep in the back of my mind, hey, the day might come, I'm going to have to take a life. I might have to take a life in defense of me and mine. So you see, it's just things like that, man. This is it's a healthy fear, man. Because like I said, being a fat slob, sluggish, right? You know, things of that nature. What good am I if I'm good for nothing? What good am I if I'm good for nothing? I can't, you know, hear there's someone trying to break into my house, or whatever the case may be, man. And I'm, you know, I'm looking at my demon. She's looking at me like, I'm looking at her. I'm relying on her. You gonna take care of it? We both looking at each other like, what are you gonna do? You know what? What good is that, man? What good is that? What good am I? You know, so as a man, you know, it's a part of our job, our responsibility, our duty, man, to be that, man, men, right? We don't owe it to nobody but Yahweh Shema Shai and ourselves to be a man, be men, right? Because it's bigger than us, man. So 1 Timothy 4 and 16. Matter of fact, let's start at 15. Meditate upon these things. Meditate upon these things. So like I just said, you know, all things that I meditate on, right? You know, everything that I was just talking about, man. You know, all things I keep into consideration, right? It says, give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all. Take heed unto thyself and unto, because like I said, that thy profiting may appear to all, right? Because Romans 12 and 1, starting at 1, right? This is our sacrifice, right? Our reasonable service. Like I just said, it's our duty. It's our duty, all right? Our body's a sacrifice. Again, as much as you want to sit around, bullshit, play games all day, hey, listen, 2 Edges 8, the time is coming when we're going to be able to rest. Another thing that I always say, from sign of grief to sign of relief. Right now, we're sign of grief, but the time is going to come. Soon come, we can drop our shoulder and breathe. You know, that sigh of relief, that, you know, that's where we could drop our shoulders. That's where we could chill. That's when rest is allowed. But until then, hey, you know, our bodies, our lives are a sacrifice. So, you know, to younger brothers, man, you get those thoughts, and it happens to it happens to all of us. You know, it's just like, damn, dog, shit's not fair, but it's fairly unfair, right? It's like, damn, I can't, it's like Jay can't get a break, man. But hey, everything's with balance, of course, but this is just not the time, man. This is the time now to be offered up as a sacrifice. We're the sacrifice. So you wonder why you can't get a break. It's like, damn, can't get nothing out this bitch. Well, hey, just keep in mind that we are the sacrifice, man. All right, we are the sacrifice. Our life, our bodies, it's all a sacrifice. All right, so just keep that in mind. But making the point, because like I quoted the Romans 12:1, being that this is a sacrifice, and like I just said here, that profiting may appear to all. Lord willing, we're of that number. Our sacrifice is going to pay off. All right. People are going to see why we took this so serious. All right. They're going to find out why we took this so serious. All right. Lord willing, our sacrifice is going to pay off, man. And these people, they're going to see why we took this so serious, man. Right. But verse 16, take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them, for in doing this thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee. So again, man, hey, not every brother is going to be on the level of the apostles, certain elders, certain men, but nevertheless, being lords in our own realm, hey, we're all leaders. Talking to the hopefully elect brothers, all right, those he goats, all right, we're miniature shepherds under the shepherd Yahushua. So with that being said, again, the Lord is prepping us, getting us ready, because the flock is coming. One thing, my beloved elder, my head brother, Nahoya, he's been saying since I've been coming around. I'm sure he's been saying it before. I know he's been saying it before, but for years. And I've said this, I've admitted it. That's why I always tell brothers, hey, trust the heads, trust the leadership. Because same things that my beloved head brother has been saying since day one, since I've been coming around for years. He's saying the same thing. He's been saying the same thing. And we've been seeing it. Like I said, brothers coming into camp. Brothers just crossed over to the camp. But one thing he's been saying, hey, Orlando's going to grow. Orlando's going to grow. And one thing he says too, man, hey, the fruit's coming. Fruit is coming. And I've said this, and that's why I always tell brothers, trust the heads, man. Trust the leadership, right? Because he's been saying the same thing since day one. Same thing since day one, right? And before, I didn't see it. I didn't see it, You had the old heads of Orlando. Our brothers talk about it all the time. The old heads, they broke off. And, just for a period of time, it was just the three head brothers, Nahoya, Azaria, Rakaya. Then, me and Damawati came along. It was just us five for a period of time, right? And I didn't see it. Like I said, I didn't see it. But just to fast forward to where we're at now, hey, Orlando has been nothing but growing. There's been nothing but growth in Orlando. And it's only going to grow. So, that's just something I keep in mind, man. The fruit's coming. Just making that point. The fruit is coming. The believers, they're coming. So again, being that this is a class of kings, man, rulers, all right, the company of prophets, the school of prophets, man, because you have a lot of these entry-level camps, and the way that Yahweh Shema Shai is getting ready to shake things up, man, hey, the believers are coming. As Apostle Tar always says, there's going to be a major shaking in Israel. And who do you think these, I'm just talking about just Jake, these other Jakes and these other Israelite groups, who do you think they're going to go to when the Lord shakes shit up in Israel? Who do you think they're going to go to? They're going to flock to the real leaders, all right? But in general, hey, the innumerable multitude, they're coming. I can see it, I see it. They're coming. They're coming. Just the way that the Spirit of the Lord is moving, hey. So, Again, man, as I just read, hey, it's bigger than us. The Yahweh Bashim Shai has been prepping us. He's preparing us. He's been preparing us. Because, hey, as the scriptures say, roughly paraphrasing, the shepherd, he tends to the flock, man. He has a good care over his flock. Roughly paraphrasing, you know, and our training is getting ready to pay off. All right, Lord, willing, we're at that number. Our training is getting ready to pay off, man. But nevertheless, again, hey, it's bigger than us. It's bigger than how we feel. All right, the people that are depending on us, whether we know it or not, whether we see it or not. Let me get another one. In Nehemiah 4. Because with all that being said, like I mentioned earlier, man, you know, hey, you know, brothers taking care of themselves, their health and this and that, hey, is just bigger than you and, you know, trying to look good, you know, and all of that, man. Right? Nehemiah 4 and 14. And I looked and rose up and said unto the nobles and to the rulers and to the rest of the people, be not ye afraid of them. Remember the Lord, which is great and terrible, and fight for your brethren, your sons and your daughters, your wives and your houses. So you see, that time is coming. Because like I said, it's going to get physical. You know, right now we're in a spiritual warfare. It's spiritual. And in some, I would say a lot of cases, it's going to get physical. It is going to get physical. You know, so our training is coming off. All right, the training wheels are coming off. All right. You know, and this is the sense of urgency that we move in. This is the sense of urgency that we're moving, man. It's going to get real out here, man. It's going to get real. It's going to get real. You know, one way or the other, Yahweh Bashim Shai is going to be with us, one way or the other. But hey, it starts with a mindset. All right, it all starts with a mindset. So again, you know, when it comes to the bigger picture, man, you know, hopefully I rambled a lot, but hopefully it made sense through the Spirit. Hopefully this is edifying. You know, so Lord willing, this was edifying again. Giving all praises to Yahweh Bashim Shai. Shalom to you, hopefully elect.